Hello everyone, and once again to part 2 of episode number 4. Hope you all are doing good. In this particular part, I would be covering the charismatic Warangal Fort, the Kakatiya Thoranam, and the places in and around the fort area, along with brief history of the entire Warangal Fort. As we travel through various places in Warangal, we start with the Warangal Fort and a little history about it. Also known as the gateway to Warangal, the Warangal Fort represents the capital city of Kakatiya dynasty and Musunuri Nayakas who ruled around this area. The fort appears to have existed since at least the 12th century when it was the capital of the Kakatiyas. The fort has 4 ornamental gates known as Kakatiya Thoranam and also Orugallu Fort that originally formed the entrances to a now ruined Great Shiva temple. Ganapatideva, Rudrama Devi and Prataparudra II all added to the fort's height, building gateways, square bastions and additional circular earthen walls. This places the construction towards the end of the Kakatiya period. The construction of the Warangal Fort began in the 13th century under the reign of Ganapatideva by replacing an existing structure made of bricks to build the stone fort of Warangal on a hillock called Ekashila. Considerable contributions and additions were done by Rani Rudrama Devi and her grandson Pratap Rudra Deva. Although in ruins, the original sculptures, iconographies in the entire fort area, including the Thoranam, the Swayambhu temple and the stoneworks done provide a glimpse of the mesmerizing craftsmanship and stunning artistry of the Kakatiyas. The fortification part of the city of Warangal was done by Ganapatideva, while King Prataparudra is credited with adorning the city with palaces, gardens and fountains. The fortification was done in 3 parts. Number 1, an innermost wall made of granite stone blocks and around almost 1.2 km in diameter with gateways at 4 cardinal points, all laid down in a close-knit pattern without the use of mortar. Number 2, the second wall, an earthen structure 2.4 km in diameter, was constructed by Queen Rudrama Devi. Number 3, the final ring of the wall encompasses today's Warangal district, was constructed made of mud and has a diameter of 12.5 km. Number 4, the 4 gates of the Warangal Fort were built in the design of Kakatiya Thoranam or Great Gate of Glory, classic arch carved out of a single rock. All the 4 gates once part of the great Swayambhu Shiva temple constructed in the 12th century. The chronicles of Amir Khusro described how the fortifications consisted of a strong outer hardened mud structure with a deep ditch in front that had to be filled with dirt before Malik Kafur's army could surmount it in 1318. The inner fortress was built of stone and surrounded by a moat and that the Muslim soldiers swam across. The fort as described by Khusro corresponds to the 2 inner circles of fortifications that exist today and is visible from above. Kakatiya Thoranam, also called Warangal Gate, also known as Swayambhuva Temple Complex, is a historical arch in the Warangal district of Indian state of Telangana. The Warangal Fort has 4 ornamental gates which originally formed the gates to the destroyed Great Shiva temple, which are known as Kakatiya Thoranam or Warangal Gates. The architectural feature of these historical arches of the Warangal Fort has been adopted as the symbol of the Kakatiya dynasty. These gates or arches in the Warangal Fort are said to have similarities with gates of the Sanchi Stupa. and this fact has been endorsed by many. The arch was built around 12th century during the rule of Kakatiya dynasty. The fort and the Thoranama are included in the tentative list of UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Kakatiya Kala Thoranam or arch is an extensive ornamented stone sculpture reflective of four identical gates in the Warangal Fort, which was part of the great Swayambhudeva Shiva temple in the fort built by Ganapati-Deva. His daughter Rudrama Devi and Prataprudra II of Kakatiya dynasty added more fortifications to the fort, which was arranged in three concentric circles. The central part of the fort, identified as the archaeological zone, contains the ruins of great Swayambhuva Shiva temple, now seen with only the freestanding entrance portals or gates on the four sides, all being similar in design. Each gate has twin pillars with angled brackets over which lies the huge lintel. The gates have extensive intricate carvings of lotus buds, looped garlands, mythical animals, and birds with foliated tails. They do not depict any religious symbols, said to be the reason for its preserved condition for not being destroyed by Muslim invaders. Amongst the sculptures lying in the ruins of the complex are the pillars, brackets, on which there are representations of the Gaja Kesari motifs depicting a lady with head of a warrior and holding a dagger and shield and seated on a lion, which in turn is seen standing on an elephant, and the warrior is believed to be Queen Rudrama Devi in the form of Raya Gaja Kesari, that is the lion who rules over the elephant kings. Swayambhudeva Alayam temple is part of the ruins of the great Shiva temple that doesn't exist anymore. It's a small temple or Shivalayam Mandalam temple, also known as Swayambhudeva Alayam temple, in the southern side of the Thoranam and contains the idol of Chaturmukha Shiva. It is known for its intricately carved sculptures and motifs that are kept in the temple. This temple is situated right within Warangal Fort next to Ekashila Gutta and a stone's throw distance from southern Thoranam. The temple is situated below the road level. Swayambhuva Shambhu Lingeshwara Swami Devalaya is one of the ancient Shiva temples. The temple deity is said to be self-manifested. This temple was important for Kakatiya dynasty and it is said that Kakatiya King Prataparudradeva visited this temple every day. In plan, the temple seems to be star-shaped. It has a Mukha Mandapa, a porch, which leads into the temple assembly hall, Sabha Mandapa. The temple builders have made Sukhnasi, a sitting platform, right from the porch and around the assembly hall. The Shikhara over the Garbhagudi is a recent construction. The original would have been a stone tower or made of brick and mortar. Apart from the tower, the temple has undergone alterations to suit the present times. On the temple's right side is this unusual linga with 4 faces, a Chaturmukha linga. Within the temple premises is another ancient structure which looks like the priest's residence. In the foreground is another beautiful Basavanna. The idol is damaged, hence it's placed in a side. Close by is an interesting structure, a 2-story mantapa. It looks like a restored item, saying that because the columns in the ground floor are not the same. On the backside of the Swayambhudeva temple, around 1 kilometer, there is this beautiful structure called Shivalayam Mandapam temple, which is also a Shivalayam but is closed for entry. There is no parking here, but on the side of the road the vehicle can be parked and few minutes spent in watching from outside the barricade. Around 200 meters from the fort is the Kush Mahal, also known as Shitab Khan Mahal, which had been named after Sitapati, a Hindu chief who was the governor under Bahmani rule and is said to have been built during the Tughlaq reign. Around 3 kilometers from the Thoranam is the ancient Kakatiya step well, a historic multi-storied step well also known as Mithla Bhavi, Antasthulu Bhavi in local parlance at Shiv Nagar, Warangal. The step well, one of the architectural marvels of the Kakatiya dynasty. According to the locals, the depth of the well is unknown and it never dries up. The locals also say that the square-shaped step well has a secret tunnel through which the queen's entourage used to access it from Fort Warangal, which is barely a couple of kilometers away.
Friends, whatever I have discussed in this particular part till now, along with that we also visited the Ekashila Gutta, which is just opposite the Kakatiya Thoranam, and it is the Gutta on the foothills of which the entire Warangal Fort, Warangal city is created. The Ekashila Gutta is a beautiful hillock where you go up to the hill and there is a beautiful Shiva temple there. At the bottom of the hill has a beautiful amusement park along with the children's park where people of any age can spend some good amount of time. I request you that if you are visiting Kakatiya Thoranam, do not miss to visit this particular place, because this is worth visiting. There is an entry ticket to the place which is very nominal. I would like you to know that I visited this place, but I do not exactly remember whether the still camera there is was charged or not, because of which I did not carried my SLR there, and I even do not remember where are the pics which I took using the mobile cameras. So the entire memory has been washed from my brain, but I do remember that we visited the beautiful Shiva temple above along with the children's park there. Do not miss to visit this particular place. So friends, with this I come to the end of part 2 of episode number 4. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I would again request you to watch the entire episode, because there are a lot of interesting things which are covered in this particular episode. I once again thank you a lot to watch the video, and do take utmost care of yourself, and bye for now.